I have an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and a master's degree, and I have used 1 month of my GI Bill. So I want to share with you how I got all these degrees and how I financed them so that hopefully you can consider how best to obtain your degrees. I want to do this for a few reasons. One, I want you to think about how to strategically use your GI Bill before you jump right into it. Two, I want to share the lessons I learned and how it impacted my goals and my life at this point. And three, I want to share with you how you can get paid to go to college without using your GI Bill. And first, before we get started, I think it's worth noting that I did not go into college with any other college credits. I started from scratch. And the way I started to get my education done was by using tuition assistance while on active duty. At the time, I thought it was the best idea to just attend a local community college. So I used tuition assistance while going to a local school, sometimes in person, sometimes online. Mistake number one here is that I wish I knew that I could use FAFSA at the same time as TA. If I had used FAFSA, then I probably would have taken a few more classes to get a higher level of Pell Grant that would then be refunded to me. So if you are in active duty or considering going active duty and want to use tuition assistance, I definitely recommend pairing tuition assistance with FAFSA and hopefully the Pell Grant if you qualify. When I left active duty, I was convinced that I was going to go to medical school. And so I had to strategically think, what is more expensive, medical school or undergrad? And I knew that I was going to this local community college. I knew that it was affordable and that I could continue to pay out of pocket for that if necessary so that I could use the GI Bill for medical school. And so that's why I did not use the GI Bill when I first got out. And what I did use to fund my community college experience in California was one, FAFSA, where you qualify financially and you are most likely going to obtain the Pell Grant. The state of California, if you're a California resident and you qualify financially, they have what's called the Board of Governors fee waiver. So the Board of Governors fee waiver actually waived the tuition cost for the school I was at, which then caused the entire Pell Grant to be refunded to me. So that was money in my pocket, basically in place of GI Bill BAH, since I was not using my GI Bill. And another method I was able to actually pocket money during college was applying for scholarships. I had heard that there were thousands of dollars that were not being utilized because people did not know these scholarships existed. So when I heard that, I started writing essays, looking for every scholarship that I qualified for and submitting an application. Oftentimes, it was just an essay that was required. Between the Pell Grant being refunded to me and the scholarships being paid out to me, that was fairly similar to BAH. So I was able to fund my entire associate's degree this way by using FAFSA, the Board of Governors fee waiver, and scholarships. At this point in time, once I had my associate's degree, it was time to transfer and get my bachelor's degree. And I was at this point starting to think maybe medicine isn't the right path for me. I don't really know what I necessarily want to do, but let me just get a bachelor's degree real quick and be on my way and hopefully land in the right career. When I decided that it wasn't medicine I wanted to do, I started looking at other options, and I found a veteran-friendly school online that allowed for a 50% discount for tuition for veterans. And so in my head, I'm calculating what is the opportunity cost of using the GI Bill, not only for online school where the BAH rate is cut in half, but also if tuition is 50%, maybe it's worth me just paying out of pocket. And so that's what I did. I paid out of pocket for the rest of my bachelor's degree while going to school online. Between Pell Grant, a few scholarships, and working part-time, that is how I paid for online bachelor's degree and completed my bachelor's degree. While this maybe wasn't the most effective use of my time and money, it was a great time where I had the freedom and flexibility to work for an airline part-time, load bags while going to school, and I was able to travel the world for free while completing all my coursework all over the world and the country for that matter. And lastly, I eventually decided that maybe it would be a good idea to obtain my master's degree in project management. And at this point in time, I had actually heard about and knew a little bit about VRNE. And so I applied for VRNE and was awarded VRNE, and that is how I paid for my master's degree. I did a completely online program, so the BH was not as significant as the GI Bill would have been, not as significant as if I went to school in person. That is how I paid for my master's degree. And now here I am, 3 degrees in the bank, on the wall for whatever it's worth, and I'm trying to figure out, I've got 35 months of GI Bill that I can still use. What do I do with it? I don't know. I don't necessarily need more education at this point. I am not in a rush to use it, but I think that the lesson here is that maybe it's worth saving, maybe it's not worth saving. If you save it, you can use it later on. That's how I got my 3 degrees, free and clear, paid for, no debt. Hopefully that makes you think a little bit how to strategically use your benefits. But what I would recommend absolutely is to 1, apply for FAFSA and hopefully getting that Pell Grant refunded to you. Number 2, I also recommend applying for scholarships. Check your scholarships at your school, see if there are scholarships that you qualify for, and if the payout is there, then they will be refunded to you if your tuition has already been paid in full. Hopefully this serves you, and I wish you the best of luck in your education pursuits. Peace. See you next time.